Welcome to Headphone News, International Edition for Saturday, November 16th, 2024.
Women empowered by refurbished batteries in India. In Kenchanahally, a village in Karnataka, India, a group of 6 women runs a tailoring business powered by refurbished lithium-ion batteries. This solution addresses the ongoing problem of frequent power cuts that often disrupted their work. With these battery packs, the women can now complete their sewing orders on time. This initiative underscores the need for recycling as India increases its clean energy efforts, including the growing use of electric vehicles and solar panels. The Swami Vivekananda Youth Movement, a local nonprofit, supports this project to empower women and provide them with reliable energy. As India aims to enhance its clean energy production, attention remains focused on managing electronic waste effectively.
Lee Jae-myung convicted in election law case. On November 15, 2024, Lee Jae-myung, the leader of the Democratic Party of Korea, received a suspended prison sentence from the Seoul Central District Court. He was found guilty of violating the Public Official Election Act by making false statements during the 2022 presidential campaign. This conviction could affect his chances of running in future elections. Lee plans to appeal the ruling, claiming he is a target of political attacks. Supporters and critics gathered outside the court, showing the divided opinions about Lee and the future of his party in South Korean politics.
American tourist arrested for vandalism at Tokyo Shrine. An American tourist has been arrested for vandalizing the Meiji Jingu Shrine in Tokyo, Japan. The incident occurred on November 12, 2024, when the 65-year-old carved his initials into a wooden pillar at the shrine. Authorities detained him at a hotel on November 13 after reviewing security camera footage. The U.S. Embassy in Japan is providing assistance to the tourist. This incident highlights concerns about tourist behavior in Japan, where nearly 27 million visitors have arrived this year. Vandalism at cultural sites can lead to serious legal consequences in Japan, including fines and imprisonment. The Meiji Jingu Shrine, established in 1920, serves as an important historical site honoring Emperor Meiji and Empress Shoken.
Trump nominates Clayton for U.S. Attorney. On November 14, 2024, Donald Trump announced the nomination of Clayton as the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York. This position involves managing federal cases in a significant legal jurisdiction. Clayton previously served as the chair of the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, from May 2017 to December 2020, during which he focused on regulations for markets and investments. This nomination follows an earlier attempt by Trump to appoint Clayton in 2020, which faced notable opposition from Democrats. Concerns remain about potential conflicts of interest, particularly with ongoing investigations involving Trump and his associates. This nomination highlights Trump's continuing influence in U.S. legal matters.
TT Electronics rejects Volex takeover offers. TT Electronics, a British manufacturer of electronic components based in Woking, has rejected 2 takeover proposals from Volex plc, a company specializing in power products and data connectivity cables. The latest proposal valued TT Electronics at around £248.6 million, which is approximately $315 million. Volex believed that these offers would provide benefits for the shareholders of TT Electronics. However, TT Electronics is currently facing serious operational challenges and a decline in demand in North America, leading to a drop in its stock price. This situation underscores the difficulties TT Electronics is encountering in a competitive market.
Injury concerns for Indian cricket ahead of Australia series. KL, an opener for the Indian cricket team, suffered an elbow injury during an intra-squad match in Perth, Australia. He was hit by a ball from teammate Prasid Krishna and had to leave the field for medical attention. The team has not yet provided details about how serious the injury is, creating uncertainty about Rahul's availability for the upcoming Test series against Australia. Virat Kohli also played in the match despite dealing with his own injury concerns. He managed to score 15 runs before getting out. Kohli's recent performance has come under scrutiny following a disappointing series against New Zealand. This inter-squad match serves as an important preparation as the Indian team gears up for a 5-test series against Australia, starting soon.
Major energy companies invest in sustainable energy. Total Energies, BP, Shell, and Equinor have announced a $500 million investment aimed at improving access to sustainable energy. This investment focuses on sub-Saharan Africa and Asia. The announcement occurred during the UN COP29 climate summit in Baku, Azerbaijan. Millions of people in these regions currently lack reliable electricity. This initiative seeks to enhance living conditions by providing better energy access. BP's chief executive, Murray Auchincloss, highlighted the importance of this collaborative effort in addressing energy challenges.
Fire at homeless encampment in Van Nuys. A fire occurred early on November 14, 2024, at a homeless encampment in Van Nuys, Los Angeles, California. The incident began with a trash fire, producing a thick plume of black smoke visible across the San Fernando Valley. Fire crews arrived quickly and brought the flames under control within 30 minutes. Local business owners and residents expressed significant concerns about safety and health issues arising from the encampment. One manager reported that workers often feel unsafe due to interactions with homeless individuals. The encampment has expanded, now containing over 20 tents. Local officials acknowledge the persistent challenges of homelessness in Los Angeles and the urgent need for more resources to assist those in need.
Xi Jinping addresses China's population decline. On November 15, 2024, President Xi Jinping stressed the importance of maintaining a moderate fertility level in China in response to the country's declining population. He pointed out the need for improved monitoring of demographic statistics. China faces challenges from historical policies, particularly the one-child policy that was put in place in 1979. Even though there are now efforts to encourage larger families, birth rates continue to fall. The government aims to change this trend to promote economic stability and support workforce growth.
Malaysia's economy slows in Q3 2024. In the third quarter of 2024, Malaysia's economy faced a slowdown with the gross domestic product (GDP) rising by 5.3%, down from 5.9% in the second quarter. The decline was largely due to reduced oil and gas production caused by maintenance work. Despite this slowdown, foreign direct investment hit 14.5 billion Malaysian ringgit, which is around $3.24 billion US. Household spending remains strong, helping to support overall growth. However, recent cuts to subsidies may lead to higher inflation in the future. Bank Negara Malaysia, the country's central bank, is closely watching these changes as it plans for the economic outlook ahead.
Irish election poll indicates Fine Gael in the lead. A recent opinion poll shows that Fine Gael, under the leadership of Prime Minister Simon Harris, holds a 6-point lead going into the upcoming Irish general election. Poll conducted by the Irish Times and Ipsos BNA indicates Fine Gael at 25% support, while both Fianna Fáil and Sinn Féin are at 19%. Support for independent candidates has increased, now reaching 20%. The general election is set for November 29, 2024, and these polling results are significant as voters prepare to make their choices.
Via Rail faces challenges with delays and finances. Via Rail Canada, the country's national passenger rail service, is facing major delays. Many trains are running late, and this issue is becoming more frequent. Contributing factors include outdated tracks, a lack of sufficient staff, and an increase in passenger numbers that the service cannot keep up with. This situation is causing growing frustration among travelers. The Canadian government is exploring options to invest in infrastructure improvements to enhance train services. Comparisons indicate that delays with Via Rail are similar to those experienced by Amtrak, the passenger rail service in the United States. Feedback from the public shows rising concerns about the reliability of rail travel. Many passengers are eager for better service and a more dependable travel experience.
India's festive auto sales rise by 12%. India's automotive market saw a 12% increase in sales during the festive season from October 3rd to November 13th, 2024. A total of 4.3 million vehicles were sold, largely driven by strong demand for two-wheelers, especially in rural regions. Car sales grew by 7%, supported by significant discounts from manufacturers. However, sales fell short of the target of 4.5 million units due to heavy rains in South India and a cyclone in Odisha. C.S. Vigneshwar, president of the Federation of Automobile Dealers Associations, remains optimistic about improving inventory levels in the coming months.
Land Securities reports half-year profit. Land Securities Group plc, a major UK commercial property firm, announced a profit of £243 million for the first half of the 2024 fiscal year, marking a strong recovery from last year's loss of £193 million. Increased tenant occupancy and rental growth in retail and London properties drove this profit surge. The overall UK commercial property market is showing signs of recovery after the pandemic. CEO Mark Allen stated that stabilization in property values has significantly contributed to these impressive results. The company's earnings forecast matches last year's performance, suggesting a positive outlook for the future.
Orban urges EU to reconsider sanctions on Russia. On November 15, 2024, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban called on the European Union to reconsider its sanctions against Russia. He emphasized that these sanctions contribute to high energy prices, which hurt the economic competitiveness of the EU. Hungary relies on Russia for about 80% of its natural gas and crude oil. Orban pointed out that U.S. companies enjoy much lower energy costs compared to European firms, putting European businesses at a disadvantage. His comments highlight the growing division within the EU regarding the approach to relations with Russia and the need for energy security.
Taylor Swift's Eras Tour kicks off in Toronto. Taylor Swift's Eras Tour started in Toronto, Ontario on November 14, 2024. This tour features 6 sold-out shows that celebrate the different eras of her music. Fans experienced an exciting opening night filled with vibrant stage designs and a diverse selection of hit songs from her albums. Tickets sold out rapidly due to high demand. The Toronto concerts showcased the city as a significant cultural hub in Canada. The tour is following local health and safety guidelines to ensure the well-being of all attendees. Having begun in March 2023, this tour has received widespread praises for its captivating performances.
Avian influenza outbreak in British Columbia. An egg farm in Abbotsford, British Columbia, is dealing with a significant outbreak of avian influenza. About 30,000 hens were culled after testing positive for the H5N1 strain of the virus. Farmer Mark Siemens shared the emotional impact of losing birds he raised since they were 1 day old. This incident is part of an ongoing challenge for Canadian farmers, who have faced avian influenza outbreaks since 2022. Additionally, a teenager in British Columbia is in critical condition, suspected to be the first human case of the flu in Canada. Health officials maintain that the risk of a larger human outbreak remains low, but this situation underscores the importance of biosecurity measures on farms. While farmers rely on government compensation to help recover, they still incur significant costs for cleanup and experience lost income. Support from the community is crucial during these tough times.
Cashback rebates transform real estate in Canada. Cashback rebates are changing the home buying landscape in Canada. This system allows buyers to receive a portion of the real estate agent's commission back after they purchase a home. In cities like Toronto, where homes often sell for over $1 million Canadian dollars, these rebates can offer significant savings. For example, one buyer recently received about 35,000 Canadian dollars back, which is roughly 26,250 US dollars. Many real estate agents are beginning to offer these cashback options to attract more clients. Experts advise buyers to do their homework before working with agents who provide cashback agreements. As more Canadians become aware of this option, the real estate market is growing more competitive, leading to better savings and more choices for homebuyers.
Lee Jae-myung convicted of election law violations. On November 15, 2024, Lee Jae-myung, leader of South Korea's main opposition party, was convicted for violating election laws. He received a 1-year prison sentence, but it is suspended for 2 years. Lee plans to appeal the decision. Charges involve allegations that he made false statements during his 2021 presidential campaign. Supporters gathered outside the Seoul Central District Court during the hearing. If his fine exceeds 1 million won, about $710, Lee could lose his parliamentary seat and be barred from running for office for 5 years. This conviction adds to his ongoing legal troubles, including several other trials.
Foreign investors withdraw from Asian bond markets. In October 2024, foreign investors withdrew $3.8 billion from Asian bond markets outside of China. This move was driven by concerns over the recent U.S. presidential election. Many investors worried that a Trump victory could lead to higher inflation driven by proposed tariffs and tax cuts. As a result, expectations for interest rate cuts that had previously supported these bonds diminished. Analysts now express less optimism about future investments in Asian bonds. In contrast, South Korea saw an influx of $4.03 billion in foreign investment due to its upcoming inclusion in the FTSE Russell World Government Bond Index in November 2025. Moreover, Indonesian bonds attracted about $1.5 billion in inflows, marking 6 consecutive months of increasing foreign investment.
SJSU women's volleyball team sues over transgender athlete participation. The San Jose State University women's volleyball team has filed a lawsuit against the Mountain West Conference and the university. This legal action centers on the participation of a transgender athlete in the women's team. Co-captain Brooke Slusser and other players claim that allowing this athlete to compete violates Title IX, which protects against sex discrimination in education. The lawsuit seeks to bar this athlete from playing in an upcoming tournament. The case has attracted considerable attention, sparking discussions about fairness in women's sports. Officials from the Mountain West Conference have expressed that they are taking the allegations seriously. Additionally, increased security measures have been implemented for the team during their matches.
Chinese defense firms to participate in Vietnam Arms Expo. Chinese defense firms are set to attend an international arms fair in Hanoi, Vietnam, from December 19th to 22nd, 2024. This participation indicates a potential strengthening of military ties between China and Vietnam. The Vietnamese Defense Ministry expects approximately 140 companies at the expo, including those from major nations like the United States and Russia. This represents a significant shift, as no Chinese military equipment was showcased at the last expo in 2022. Experts believe this involvement is a key step toward deeper security cooperation between the two countries. Vietnam aims to modernize its military and reduce dependence on Russian supplies by collaborating with various nations.
French inflation revised to 1.6% in October 2024. Consumer prices in France increased by 1.6% in October 2024, slightly up from the previous estimate of 1.5%. This rise is driven by higher energy costs and ongoing supply chain disruptions. French citizens may struggle to manage their budgets as everyday essentials become more costly. Businesses may need to make tough choices regarding pricing and expenses during these challenging economic conditions. Government officials are likely to explore different measures to stabilize prices and provide support to consumers in this evolving situation.
Concerns about Kennedy's nomination as Health Secretary. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been nominated by President-elect Donald Trump to be the Secretary of Health and Human Services. This nomination has sparked worries among healthcare professionals. Kennedy, known for his controversial views on vaccines and his prominent family background, has drawn significant attention. Experts like Dr. Peter Chin Hong from the University of California, San Francisco, expressed concerns that Kennedy's leadership could further erode trust in the healthcare system. While some political figures, such as John Dennis from the San Francisco Republican Party, support the nomination for its potential to bring change, others worry about its implications for public health policy. Kennedy still requires Senate approval, and his confirmation may face challenges.
Layoffs at KNBR shock Bay Area sports fans. On November 13, 2024, KNBR, a sports radio station in San Francisco, California, announced layoffs impacting several key staff members. Longtime host Tom Tolbert, a familiar voice in sports talk radio, was among those let go. Co-host John Lund, creative director Tony Ryan, and producer Danny Dunn also lost their positions. Many fans and colleagues expressed their sadness on social media. Colleagues praised Tolbert as a talented sports personality and a respected radio figure. These unexpected layoffs have raised concerns about the future direction of KNBR amid shifts in the sports media landscape.
UK economy contracts in September 2024. The UK economy contracted by 0.1% in September 2024, as reported by the Office for National Statistics. This decline poses a setback for Finance Minister Rachel Reeves, who is focused on boosting growth. While the services sector remains stable, manufacturing and construction experience declines. Overall growth for the third quarter was only 0.1%, down from 0.5% in the previous quarter, and analysts had expected a growth of 0.2%. Reeves expressed disappointment with these results and emphasized plans for reforms and investments aimed at creating jobs and helping families. The Bank of England revised its growth forecast for 2024 down to 1% but anticipates stronger performance in 2025. This slow recovery comes after economic disruptions caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, with the UK lagging behind other major economies like Germany.
IAEA chief visits Iran amid nuclear concerns. On November 15, 2024, Rafael Grossi, the head of the International Atomic Energy Agency, visited Iran. He toured the Natanz nuclear plant and the Fordow enrichment facility, both key sites in Iran's nuclear program. This visit precedes expected diplomatic discussions from European nations about Iran's nuclear activities. Iran's foreign minister, Iraqi, stated that the country is open to resolving issues with the IAEA but will not negotiate under pressure. Tensions remain high as Iran has increased its uranium enrichment, raising concerns about its nuclear ambitions.
Winnipeg Blue Bombers gear up for 111th Grey Cup. The 111th Grey Cup is happening on November 17, 2024, with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers taking on the Toronto Argonauts. Winnipeg comes into the game as the favorite, with a 9-point advantage. The Bombers aim to recover after losing in a championship match both in 2022 to Toronto and in 2023 to Montreal. Star running back Brady Oliveira will lead the team, while Toronto's quarterback Chad Kelly will miss the game due to an ankle injury, leaving backup Nick Arbuckle in charge. The Grey Cup is a significant event in Canadian culture and attracts a large audience every year. This year's game will be held at Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton, Ontario.
Compass Minerals explores sale amid financial challenges. Compass Minerals, based in Overland Park, Kansas, is in discussions with private equity firms about a potential sale. The company is facing significant challenges, including a sharp decline in its share value after it canceled a lithium mining project in Utah. This project encountered strong regulatory pushback due to environmental concerns linked to the Great Salt Lake. Consequently, Compass Minerals reported a loss of over $43 million in its most recent quarter. The news of potential acquisition talks has led to a more than 30% increase in the company's shares. Compass Minerals specializes in producing salt for various markets, including transportation and food.
Trends in cybercrime for 2024. Cybercrime is set to become more sophisticated in 2024. Sandra Joyce from Google warns that hackers will use artificial intelligence to create convincing phishing emails that may trick people into thinking they miss payments. It is crucial to be cautious before clicking on messages that seem legitimate. Multi-factor authentication is an important tool for protecting personal information. Companies need to train employees to recognize and respond to cyber threats. Staying informed and following strong security practices can significantly reduce the risk of falling victim to cybercrime. That is all the news for today. Thank you for listening to today's Headphone News. News summary brought to you by AI.